delighted today to be joined by Cisco's Cybersecurity Director, Terry Greer-King, who's going to talk to us about what GDPR is and help people put themselves on the front foot when it comes to preparing for it. Obviously, we both work in security, so we've got a good idea of this, but you know, in the press and in the wider world, we're seeing more and more hacks occur and bigger and bigger consequences in terms of they're taking more stuff. How does GDPR, how's that going to affect the hacking situation?
Well, really interesting. So GDPR specifically talks about detecting breaches and reporting breaches. And again, one of the big drivers of GDPR is it's been at the discretion, quite frankly, of individual organisations. So if they know they've been breached, do they tell? Now, that conversation is linked with ethics, morals, attitude. An organisation may not wish to tell because perhaps there's some reputational risk. Others would feel ethically and morally they should go and tell the community. That's also linked sometimes with an understanding of what's taken place. So when an organisation recognises it's been breached, they don't really understand what's been taken, where it's been taken, what they're going to do. And it's very difficult if you go to the media and you're in camera and someone asks you a question and says, "Great, what's gone?" I don't know. What are you going to do about it? I don't know. Can you assure me it will never happen again? No. I mean, it's not a good dialogue, right? And so GDPR basically forces that. So the fines will kick in if we don't notify of a breach within 72 hours. So I think some of the behavioural change will take place. Hacks and breaches will still occur. They'll be in the public domain a little bit more, which might encourage organisations to act even more responsibly and stop them in the first place.
Yeah, because I know the you know, the average time to detection is pretty high, something like 100 days. And obviously we want to keep that going down and down and down until that people are much more on the front foot when it comes to that kind of thing.
Well, this is the changing nature of some of the things we get involved in, right? So within businesses, as you say, typically the average time to detect a breach is somewhere between 100 and 200 days, which is an extraordinarily large amount of time. At Cisco, we deploy some technology, we have some services, and as you know, on average, we bring that down to 13 hours across the globe. And that's pretty significant. And really, it talks about that we used to invest in lots of technology to stop bad things happening. Now, most organisations would accept that bad things do happen. So it's not about stopping it, we still try and do that, but accepting that the bad guys do get in. And when they do get in, what are we going to do about it? What's the process? How do we deal with an incident? How do we tell the press, not tell the press? How do we tell stakeholders? It's much more process orientated about recognising a breach and then dealing with it.
What would be your advice to companies who are looking at their processes and knowing that they need to improve them to meet the criteria? How would you advise they look at the way that they do stuff?
Simplistically, the way to start with all these things is gap analysis. If you have the expertise, start to use it. If you don't, try to contract it in. Work out what you're supposed to do on the 25th of May 2018. There are some very specific guidelines about what that should be. And I think if you compare that with current process and structure and what you do at the moment, you kind of get a gap. So I think that between now and 25th of May 2018, you can kind of get a roadmap of things you could do to get there. So I think it's all about that. The later you leave it, the more it's going to be a panic situation. The earlier we do it, the sooner we can start on that journey.
So better conversations, people being more aware of the precious things that they hold within their business and when it comes to data, so that's great. Lovely, thank you very much for your time, Terry. Really appreciate it. There's much more information about GDPR on our website, and if you'd like to know more, want to have a conversation, then please do get in touch with us. But yeah, thank you very much. Bye for now.